Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Southern Gateway Chorus live stream. My name is Zach Coleman. You already know that. My guest this week, a very familiar face. Please welcome back Jeff Legters. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Zach. Hey, everybody. Good to be back.
So we have a pretty standard show going on today. I think I'm stoked. These are some pretty good clips I've got going on here. Just some fun stuff. I'm ready for it already. Jeff, you have anything you want to say, or you want to get into this?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go ahead and do it then. So this first clip here, we decided to go to an old standard in some really not so standard uniforms, because what the heck else are you gonna do, right? So please welcome the Southern Gateway Chorus in our production called A Who Day Harmony History, singing Great Day. And that was Great Day from A Who Day Harmony History. Now, before we go any further, real quick, got to give the shout out to ICRC TV. I believe they did that one. They've done other ones for the rest of this show. Big thanks to them for letting us use that content. So, Jeff, this one hits kind of home for you because you're a big football guy, right?
I enjoy football. I enjoy the
man.
NFL. Yeah, for sure. This was an interesting show for me. The uniforms, everybody being in Bengals uniforms. Being a lifelong Steelers fan, I had to borrow a Bengals shirt and wear it, hoping that none of my family would see me. And now that this is on YouTube, I'm probably gonna be outed.
Well, to be fair, since you're talking to a group of people who are related in some way to a Cincinnati group, saying that you're a Steelers fan might also cause some trouble. But no, this was a fun show, I think. This was another one of those ones where we're just saying, hey, Gary, here are our songs. Make it a thing.
Yeah, Gary does that a lot. Like, so he has an idea in his head for, like, I could probably do a show around the Bengals, and then he'll say, you know, hey, at that time, I'm pretty sure PK may have been directing us at that time, and he will just say, hey, like, yeah, you know, I got an idea for a show. Just tell me what songs you want in it, and he'll write any kind of transitions to get a song worked into the show.
Yeah. And he's quite proficient at it, as we've seen in the past. And again, especially in stuff like this, where there's not really a story, if you will. Like this entire show was little, I don't know, is vignette the word? I don't even know if that's the word that I want, but just little spots where we're doing stuff and we all relate it, and he just made it work.
Yeah, and I don't actually remember like you said, like if there was a storyline that went through the whole show, or if it was just kind of snippets. I don't remember the script of the show.
Right. I think I remember it just being like different parts of the history. Like we had a spot where the Browns were talking, played by David Beaudry and Alan Hatzel. They had a conversation. That was funny.
Yes.
It was a pretty funny show, and I'm not much of a sports guy, and I even thought it was pretty funny.
And that show wasn't that long ago, but it's just interesting when you watch these videos to see kind of the makeup of the chorus. Like it's the same chorus and it's a different chorus in all the same sense. And there's just the faces. You're like, oh my gosh, I forgot that he sang with us then. And it's just really neat to see that stuff.
And how about the hair length on director Paul Coleman's head?
Let's talk about the hair on both Colemans, shall we?
We don't have to do that. So anyway, you ready to move on?
There was long-haired Paul for sure,
Yeah.
and then as we kind of pan through the chorus, there was big red-headed Zac.
Yeah. Big contrast these days.
Indeed, I did have to notice though, Zac. I haven't seen that cardigan on you yet on the live stream. So
sometimes you just got to try new things, man. You got to branch out. That's what I'm saying. You got to branch out.
Do we have an official cardigan count?
How many I have, or how many have been on the show?
Oh well, that's two different counts.
Because there's one of them that I won't wear because it's black. I don't want to fade in too much. All right, Jeff, you ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, last week, for those of you who were watching, you might remember that we played a little game. And so I thought for this week, with Jeff on, we should play another little game. This is a game I like to call What's Going On Here? Jeff, do you want to explain the rules?
Well, Zac, I don't know what's going on here, so I don't know the rules.
Interesting. I'll explain how it goes. You see, our esteemed video editor has looked through our history and found some pictures of our very own director, Jeff Legters. That might be in interesting situations, or it might not. Now, I know the story, but I'm going to give you the chance to pretend I don't know the story. You can tell me what it is, or you can improv something. I have faith in you. You ready to go, Jeff?
I'm very nervous.
I'm
very nervous. I am not ready to go.
We'll start you off with an easy one. How about this? What's going on here?
Oh, this is good. This is the Penn, Ohio Singers, which is the chorus that I grew up singing with my dad and my two brothers in western Pennsylvania.
Wonderful.
And that little guy on the end of the second row is me.
You mean that guy?
That guy right there.
Look at that guy. So that was, and how old are you there? What is, yeah.
I don't know. I probably in my mid-teens.
Cool.
Somewhere at that
Wonderful.
point. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that was super easy. You already got the first one down.
Are they all going to be that easy, Zac?
No, sir. Why would I do that to you? It's not a game if it's easy. And you guys at home, feel free to play along. You go ahead and tell us what you think is going on here, and we'll go from there. Let's go to this next one, Jeff. What's going on here?
Oh, there's a little Who Dey action right there. So
bit.
That's a Cincinnati Bengals Pittsburgh Steelers game here in Cincinnati.
That's right.
That we got to go to, and that is us right before the game. I think you and your dad and I traveled together and met PK there.
Sure.
And it looks like a somewhat hostile situation.
Yes, indeed. I think we were, if I remember correctly, we definitely mugged you. That's what I think I remember that.
Yes, which was the only victory the Bengals had on that given day.
If I remember correctly, you're right. And love to trash talk you, but if you say true things, there's not much I can do about it. But again, I'm not really much of a sports guy, so what am I going to do about that, right? All right, let's move on, Mr. Legters. Jeff, tell me, what's going on here?
Oh, this is very good. So this is backstage at our Robin Hood show. That is the evil sheriff of Nottingham, played by one Cy Wood.
Yes.
And I just happened to catch him backstage for a backstage selfie before we went on.
That's great. What I think is going on here is you were practicing your barber skills, and finally gave Cy Wood the handlebar mustache he's been hoping for his entire life. That's what I think is happening here.
And perfected the handlebar eyebrows.
Oh yes, handlebar eye. Oh my God, they are handlebar eyebrows. I didn't even see that originally. Okay, well, so that just means one thing. It is now confirmed that Cy Wood is very much into bicycles.
Indeed.
Okay. Anyway, let's go to the next one, shall we? You guys, let's see. What do we have? Any fun ones? Jeff's long lost crazy uncle. There you go.
Crazy
okay.
Uncle, yeah.
Yeah. Ah, Siri. She never knows what I'm trying to say. All right. Let's go ahead and move on here. Jeff, what's going on here?
Yes. So before I became director of the chorus, I actually had a thriving career as a plumber.
Sure.
And this was one of my plumber moments. Fixing a really tricky drain situation.
Sure,
in
of
the
course.
Kitchen sink.
Yeah, here's the thing. First of all, I have to say, sounds like a crappy job. Thank you. Second of all, what I really want to know here, this is what I don't understand. Why did this selfie get taken, and who did it go? Like, I don't. That's the weird part to me, is not that you might be working on some sort of sink or pipe or whatever, but why?
Why do you think it was a selfie? I actually had a professional photographer that followed me around from job to job to photograph because I was such a good plumber.
See, I must object. I must object because a professional photographer would not take a photo vertically.
Okay. The reality, Zach, is this picture was a selfie. I took it to send to my wife, Lisa, to tell her that I was finally, because she wasn't home, to tell her that I was finally fixing the sink that had been a problem for way too long.
Good.
And this picture was probably shortly before we had to call a real plumber to fix my fixing.
So your previous experience as a plumber didn't turn out in this.
I am a do-it-yourselfer, but not necessarily do it right yourself.
Exactly. See, you can claim to be anything you want to be. Doesn't mean you're good at it. Like, I'm also a juggler. I'm just not very good. I can throw them up once. Right. All right. Well, let's move on to this next one. So, Jeff, tell me something. What's going on here?
Ooh, yes. What's going on there?
What's going on here?
Trying to remember what that particular situation was. I think what happened was.
You always know the story's going to go well when it starts with, you see, what happened was.
No, so it's a confusing story. But so this was a quartet weekend.
Okay.
Back when your dad and I sang together in You Bet.
Oh, a quartet that made nothing but great choices.
Absolutely. And so in this particular case, we were driving home to take Carl back to his house, Carl Cash, our tenor singer. And we found this Value City, I think it is, shopping cart alongside the street on the sidewalk. And so we said, Value City is probably about a half mile back there, and someone must have taken it. So we stopped, we put it in the back of my van and drove it back to Value City to return it to them.
Yeah, I think that's a really, because here's the thing, they never would have gotten that back, and then they got to go buy new carts, and then they got to make sure so that's a super cool thing. And luckily, you guys, was that one of your vans or was that a rental? Like, did you?
No, that was our van. That's my van.
So I mean, lucky that you guys even knew it was there and had the space to get it back.
Yeah, it was very lucky, and I, happy to do a good deed.
Of course, man. Like I said, You Bet was a quartet that had nothing but good choices about them, and that's why you guys won in.
Absolutely.
Oops. Okay. Last one, Jeff.
Oh yeah. What? Yeah. Okay.
All right. Last one. Tell me something. What's going on here?
Well, so this was my first attempt or early attempt at the handlebar mustache as a barber.
Sure.
This is my youngest son, Christopher, and this was an early attempt, and we almost got it right. The
I don't think you
handlebar
did.
Eyebrows didn't quite go right.
Sure.
Kind of misplaced the unibrow there a little bit, but clearly it perfected it later on in life.
Yeah, you say you kind of got close. Those look nothing like handlebar. There's no twist at all in them.
Well, you have to start somewhere.
I guess so, but I mean, I would have played that off differently. I would have just said I was working on this hair growth formula, which looks like is what you were doing. That's why there's some random thing on the top of his head.
I actually think that was, as I see the bouncy slide, whatever that is behind, that was actually at a school carnival. And I guess we got some fake mustaches and had an extra one, and I don't know why it's on his forehead, but
that's
some
to be fair,
people's kids.
To be fair, if I had one of those, I would just put them on my head, and it would be fine. It would totally work out.
You might need more than one.
I might need you to. Let's move on to the next segment, shall we? All right. Well, hey, Jeff, thanks for being a good sport, man. Just so you, Jeff had no idea that was going to happen, so you're a bro.
Very nervous.
I edited a couple. Anyway, this next clip is actually a VOQ number, a very large quartet, if you will. We had a small ensemble for one of our shows not too long ago for a song that we really wanted to pick up. Didn't pan out for the chorus, but wanted to give it a shot. So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy What Kind of Fool Am I?
In this game of love, there is only me. I have wasted all my life. I was lost, but now I see. What kind of fool am I? Never fell in love. It seems that I'm the only one that I have been thinking of. What kind of man is this? An empty shell, a lonely cell in which an empty heart must dwell. What kind of lips are these that lied with every kiss, that whispered empty words of love, that left me alone like this? Why can't I fall in love like any other man? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool I am. What kind of clown am I? What do I know of life? Why can't I cast away the mask of clay and live my life? Why can't I fall in love till I don't give a damn? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool I am.
And that was What Kind of Fool Am I? Which I think Jeff is thinking now after that last segment for agreeing to do the show this week.
I should have known.
Well, especially when, so just a little behind the scenes action real quick. It hits 6:30. I'm about to hit the button to go live. And I say to Jeff, by the way, you know I love you, right? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. And I just kept going.
I do see in the comments, Zach, that your mom said, speaking of you making questionable choices, I'm glad Zach got to veto Paul's photo choices. And I'm not sure what they all were, but I think
Sure.
I'm glad to.
Yeah, I just, whatever. So Jeff, tell me about this song a little bit. So we picked this up, this was in 2017, this recording, correct?
Okay, I think so. It was
Cool.
a few years ago. I knew that.
Yeah, from our show, Life Goes On. And this was a song that was going to be a full chorus song, but wasn't. So we did it as a VLQ, right?
Yeah. So this actually was a potential contest song for us that year. And this being our spring show, we actually had already decided as a chorus that we weren't going to take this to the stage as a contest song. But we still liked the song, and a lot of our guys were really wanting to sing it. So we had the opportunity to put together a VLQ and do it on the spring show in that way. And we use VLQs for a lot of different ways.
Yeah, sure.
Or in a lot of different ways in our shows. That was one of them, is basically to say, look, we've got this song we want to sing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole chorus isn't going to do it, but
Right.
we'll put together a group of guys that want to do it. And that's one way. We also sometimes do it if
In the
Gary
reverse.
says, boy, the show really calls for this song.
Yeah.
And we need to put together guys to do it, because we use quartets, we use the full chorus, we use VLQs, just kind of switch the show up.
And then there's a third way too, which is the complete opposite of the first way, which is we're thinking about doing this song. Let's have a small group do it first and see how it goes.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
yeah. Which is real. If any of you are ready to start a chorus out there, talk to this man right here, because he knows how to do all the behind the scenes stuff and make it good.
There was I think you already showed, what was the song from the Scarecrow show we did from Dig a Broom?
Heather on the Hill.
Heather on the Hill. That was
Yeah.
another one that we said, ooh, we love this song. It fits the show. Let's get a VLQ to do it, and it might develop into a chorus song for us.
Yeah.
And it didn't yet.
Right.
But really, really good song, and that was a fun one to have a VLQ do.
And you know what? I think that is the song where you officially doomed me to singing tenor, because that was the through the Heather, all that really high stuff. You're like, hey, you can sing those, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, all right, you're singing tenor. And now here I am.
Now you're the tenor section leader.
Maybe. All right, Jeff, you ready to hit this last clip?
Yeah, sure.
All right, this last one is a little bit longer than the others, but you need the full context of it. This is from a show the Gateway has done that you have heard and seen in the past called StudentPrince.com, which in my opinion is one of the best shows that Gateway has ever done, and you'll see why in this video. Have fun.
The perfect movie would be a collaboration between William Shakespeare and Sigmund Romberg.
Okay, now if those two guys did do a movie together, what would be their most romantic scene?
I've got it. The classic balcony scene.
Ah, just like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet?
Well, sure, she calls you Romeo all the time, doesn't she?
Hey, she's in Hardware Hall, isn't she? They have that huge veranda out back. It's perfect. All you have to do is get her to come out in that veranda tomorrow night, and then you sing her a romantic love song that'll sweep her off her feet.
Sing a love song?
Yeah.
Well, sure.
I can't just go out there and sing.
Why? You did just fine in initiation.
Oh, but that was totally different. I mean, the mood and the surroundings, and besides, you guys were singing with me.
Well, you guys take care of the surroundings and mood, and I'll get the other singers.
Oh, wait, where are you going?
This is a job for the Kegger Corral. I'll be right back.
Now, let's see. Calm. What can we use for a balcony? Hey. Now, calm. You be Juliet.
I always want to be Juliet. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? How'd that?
That's kind of like ravioli stir fry.
Thank you very much.
Hey, guys, I'm back. Here, Juliet, put these on. I found them in the bloom closet. Whatever. You guys get over here and get ready.
Hey, candles. Nice touch.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Rusty, here's a song the crowd picked out. It's perfect. You know it?
Yeah, I've heard him do it before.
I think I can do it.
Okay, places, everybody. Now, calm. Remember, this is your true love singing to you. You've got to swoon and do girly stuff like that. Hewlett and I will take care of the scenery and special effects.
Special effects.
Ready, guys? Roll them.
Overhead the moon is beaming, white as blossoms on the bough. Nothing is heard but the song of a bird, filling all the air.
Visions flowing around the throne.
My soul, my joy, my hope, my fear, your heart must tell you that I am near. Lean from above while I pour out my love, for you know to my life you are love. Oh, hear my longing cry. Oh, I can't do this.
Well, why not? You're doing fine. Although, you know, you're going to have to move around a lot more. Play it up big like in the movies.
Sure, I'm doing fine up here in my dorm room, singing to a Chinese guy on a ladder with a mop on his head. When it's her up there, I won't be able to sing a note. Especially when she compares me to all those great singers she loves so much.
Hey, wait a minute. I have an idea. Of all those great singers, who is Juliet's favorite? I mean, which one does she absolutely go crazy over?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many, it's hard to pick one.
How about Bing Crosby?
Frank Sinatra?
Sammy Davis Jr.
Dick Powell?
Dean Martin?
Jerry Lewis?
No, I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Mario Lanza.
This might not be such a good idea after all. But here's what I want you to do. Okay, now you guys. Okay, let's give it a shot.
You think this is really going to work?
Well, it worked for Barney Fife on the Andy Griffith Show.
Overhead the moon is a-beaming, white as blossoms on the bough. Nothing is heard but the song of a bird, filling all the air with dreaming. Could my heart be still? It's a beating. Only you can tell it all, my darling. From your window give me a greeting, or hear my eternal vow. I swear my eternal
So that was a thing that happened in our history.
Yes.
There's okay. Before we get too far, Jeff, let's give a little bit of context as to what's going on here, yeah?
Yeah. So
how
what
much
is
do you
going on
remember?
here?
How much do you
So
remember?
this was 1997, which I think was my third show with the chorus.
Okay, I was 4.
This was the studentprince.com, which was a spoof, which we've talked about this in the past, how Gary will take something and spoof it. And we did a spoof of the Student Prince. So there were songs from the Student Prince that were mixed into the show, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. We were on a college campus. That was Desperado as the quartet, and we were the feature quartet on the show as well. And so that was Rusty Gaylord, our lead, that was singing the solo. The second time
For a little
through,
bit anyway.
right. The second time through was actually Rusty mimicking to Gary Ellerhorst singing the solo.
Yep. By the way, the pipes on Gary Ellerhorst.
Yeah,
oh my
impressive.
God. Yeah, dude.
So, I hadn't seen that video in a long time, and just remembering some of the things like what can we use for a balcony, and the ladder appears
just
from
comes
backstage. It's just so stupid and
It's
really funny.
fantastic. It's so good.
That was a good show. That was
The,
fun.
and the cheesy, like, the lamp is the moon, or the props and oh god. And
Yeah.
may I say, we were talking about this while watching it. You are a baby dude.
I was very young, super thin, yeah.
and not
no
gray at all.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey man, I don't have any gray hair. I just want you to know.
Yeah, that was an awesome time.
Yeah, I love that show, dude. It's such a that if I could go back and do any show, because I was 4, obviously wasn't a part of the show, but if I could go back and be a part of any show, that's the one.
That's the one.
100%.
That's the one you pick.
Love that show, dude.
Now I'm pretty sure Larry Finley played a lead character in that show as well, as he did with almost every show we did for decades.
He was the computer king.
Yes, and his wife's name, which I still remember today, was Anita. Her last name was New Ribbon, so her name was Anita New Ribbon.
And
Oh, yeah.
again, another show where we just get to have Gary making puns. What was your name in that show?
I was
Nope,
I was Hewlett Packard.
You were Hewlett Packard. That's right.
I was Hewlett Packard. Yes,
And then-
I was.
and a
Randy
joke-
Goss.
Yeah, Randy Goss was the actor's name.
Yes, and he played Random Doss.
Random Doss. That is correct.
Yeah, just awesome stuff.
It was a great show, man. All right, well, Jeff, that is our show for the day. Thank you for being a good sport. I really appreciate you coming on. Anything you want to say to everybody before we call it done?
No, I would say anytime, Zach, but I'm not so sure now.
I had a feeling you might say something like that. Well,
As always, it's a blast. Thanks a lot.
hey, love to have you, buddy. And thank you all for watching. I had a blast on today's show. I hope you did too. And on behalf of the Southern Gateway Chorus, take care. Have a great week.
May the